Clear. When we come to the data, a computer data is information processed or stored by the computer. Any information used by the computer or stored by the computer is known as the data. Generally, the data can be in various forms like text documents. We are using MS Office, etc. Images, audio clips, software programs, video clips, or any other type of data. All those information is known as the data. Okay, whatever the information that is used by the computer, those things are known as data only. When we come to this data, generally the data is processed by the computer's CPU and is stored in files and folders on the computer hard disk. This is the general thing about the data. When we come to the measures, units of measurement of data, how to measure the data means in the computer we have the measurements of data is there for memory. Start the basic unit is the byte, which is 8. As we know, the data computer will store anything in the form of 0 and 1, which is bits only. A byte, the basic unit of memory is the byte, which can be defined as 8 bits. Then 1024 bytes will commonly called as kilobyte. 1024 KB will called as megabytes MB. 1024 MB will become gigabyte. Like that, we have some units are there: megabyte, MB, GB, TB, terabyte, petabytes, hexabytes, zettabytes, yottabytes. Like that, these are the some of the measurements. Like this, many units are there, increasing orderly. Some of the few are these things. These are the various units of memory. Next, when we come to the types of data, already we have seen the data can be classified into 3 categories: structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. We have 3 categories of data is there. When we come to structured data means the data which is in a particular format. Okay, in a neat prescribed format is known as structured data. Okay, generally the structured data is the data which can be in a tabular format. The data which is in the tabular format is known as the structured data. Clear. Generally, okay, generally the original definition of the structured data is which is in a predefined format. The data which is in a predefined format is known as the structured data. Okay, simply we can call the data as the data which is in a tabular format is known as the structured data. In our SQL databases or Excel files, they will store the data in the form of tables only. Okay, in one line, what is the structured data means? The data which is in a tabular format is known as structured data. We can happily answer to anybody. Okay, when we come to the unstructured data, first we will see what is this unstructured data means. Okay, the data which has no predefined manner. Okay, there is no predefined model for the storage of the data. The type of data is called unstructured data, a data which is not organized in some predefined manner. Okay, or the data for which there is no predefined data models is known as the unstructured data. Particular order is not there for the data. That type of data is called the unstructured data. Best examples are our audio files, video files, okay, animation files, Word documents, PDFs. Yeah, all these things will come under the category of the unstructured data. There is no particular predefined model for these things. Okay, audio files, image, video files, or images, text, PDF, Word documents, all these come under the category of the unstructured data. Structured is in tabular format, unstructured has no particular model completely. Okay, when we come to the semi-structured, the name itself indicating it is partially structured and it is partially unstructured. Combination of both structured and unstructured will commonly called as the semi-structured data. Okay, here it is a combination of the both things. Okay, XML data is the best example. CSV files, TSV files, or XML data. All these are the best examples for the semi-structured data. Okay, in the currently you have the web technologies is there. I think in your second unit or second part of the first unit, you have the XML concepts are there. There you will write many XML files. You will write. If you are writing that code, you will observe that one. Okay, the data will be similar to table format. It is nearer to table format. Rows and columns will be there, but not completely. It is in the table format. While you are writing the XML data, you will observe happily. You can see the file while you are writing. It is similar to the tabular format, but not completely a tabular format. Okay, that's why XML data is called the semi-structured data. You will directly see this one. Why? Because in the current semester, you will use the XML files. Okay, that is briefly. structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data. See, structured data simply tabular format. Semi-structured a combination of both unstructured and structured. Unstructured means without any predefined format. In the diagrammatic form, he simply given, if you observe here, structured data is complete in a neat tabular form. See here, the partitions are neatly in the form of a table. When we come to the semi-structured, partially tabular format, when we come to unstructured, there is no neat format is there. Okay, there is no particular format in arranging the data. Clear. Here, examples are database tables are the structured, or SQL tables are the structured data, or Excel files. When we come to this one, XML files, CSV files, TSV files, all these are come under the category of semi-structured, and audio files, video files, image files, all these come under the category of the unstructured files. Next, when we come to the one more thing is metadata. What is this metadata? Already we know metadata is the data about the data. That means metadata will contain the information about the data. Okay, it will contain the information about this data. For example, if you take say particular student data, okay, it will give the information about that student, complete information about that one. For example, if you take he has given directly, if you take a photograph, okay, the data image is the photograph, that image is the data, photograph is the data, and the data related to that photograph, that means when the photo has taken, who has taken, at which location he has taken. Okay, all those things will come under the metadata. Okay, where we have taken that photo, that image, where, when it is taken, who has taken, all those things, at what time it has taken, all those things will become the metadata. Actually, image is the data, the information about that image will become the metadata. That is, the metadata is the data about the data. Clear. Metadata will also play a crucial role in the big data analysis that we will see in the future classes. Importance of metadata in various situations. Clear. This is briefly what is the data, what are the measurements of data, and what are the types of data. Then we will come to our big data. What is this big data means? Big data is not a special thing. Big data is also a data, but with a huge size. A data with a huge size is known as the big data. It is not a special thing. Okay, if you have a huge collection of data, it is called a big data. Clear. When we come to the big data, okay, big data, here the data size will increase exponentially with the time. When we come to the big data, the collected data size will increase exponentially with the time. As the time is going on, the data collection will go on increasing exponentially with the time. Okay, parallelly with the time, it will directly proportional to the time. If the time is increasing, data collection also increasing. That means size of the data is also increasing parallelly. Okay, then directly proportionally to the time. Clear. That is the thing. Simply, what is a big data means that it is a data with huge size. Clear. Since the data is increasing tremendously daily with the time as the data is going on, traditional database management tools cannot handle that huge data. So some other techniques are needed for handling this huge collection of data that we will see in the future classes. Now, when we come to the applications of big data, okay, there are nowadays in every area we have the big data is there. Okay, in any area where data is present, in that field now big data is required. Okay, when we come to the banking sector and finance sector, big data is there. Media and entertainment, health, education, government, transportation, insurance, retail means online shoppings or bankings, media and entertainment. Everywhere big data is there. Everywhere the data is increasing tremendously in everywhere in all those fields. Okay, the field where there is a data there, nowadays we want the big data. Why? Because in every area and in every field the data is increasing tremendously. Okay, very fastly the data is increasing. So big data is required in every field. When we see some examples, New York Stock Exchange generates per day, it generates 1 TB of data. So that means that much fastly the data is increasing. When we come to New York Stock Exchange, it is generating 1 TB of data every day. Daily 1 TB of new data will be generated. Okay, Facebook is generating nearly 500 plus TBs of data. Okay, every day the Facebook is totally overall generating 500 plus TB of data. Like that, in every field, the data is increasing tremendously as the time is going on. Data is increasing tremendously. Next important concept is one more important concept is the characteristics of big data. Very, very important concept and required concept is the characteristics of big data. When we come to the characteristics of big data, the characteristics or properties of big data can be defined by 5 V's. They can be explained by 5 V's. Those 5 V's are volume, variety, velocity, variability. Yeah, 5 V's. Variability, value. When we come to the volume, okay, volume is nothing but the size of the data. Volume is also is one of the important characteristic of the big data. Why? Because the name itself, big data, is nothing but the data with huge size. Okay, so volume of the data is playing a crucial role in the concept of big data. In every sector, the data size of the data is increasing very fastly. And okay, so when we come to the handling of the big data, volume will play a major role. So whatever the techniques we are using for handling the big data, we have to that technique must consider the volume. It has to consider the one of the property volume, which is the very crucial one. But so the first characteristic of the big data is it volume. One B is the volume. After volume, variety. When we come to this variety means, okay, variety means varieties of data. That means simply heterogeneous collection of data. Okay, while generating the data nowadays, while we are generating the data, all the data is not same type of data. Okay, not homogeneous data. Okay, heterogeneous, so from various sources we are getting the heterogeneous types of data is there. Okay, some data will be structured, some data will be unstructured, some data will be semi-structured, like that. Okay, the data that is collected in the concept of big data is heterogeneous. That means various types of data are coming. So what are the techniques that are handling the big data? They must consider the point variety of data also. We have to handle the variety of data. That means various categories of data that we are collecting. Okay, we make, for example, if you take the Facebook. For the Facebook, the data is photos will be there, image videos will be there. Okay, text data will be there in case of Facebook. Some people will share the text images, some people will share the videos, some people will share the text messages. That means the data in for the Facebook is heterogeneous. Different types of data is getting. For the same person, he is generating text data, he is generating images, he is generating videos, like that. Okay, various categories of the data is going to be generated. So the variety is also an important factor in case of handling of the big data. Clear? First, the second V indicates the variety means variates. Okay, variation in the collection of data. Clear? If you observe the diagram, okay, some part of the data that is gathered is structured, some part of the data that is gathered is semi-structured, some part of the data that is gathered is the unstructured. Different kinds of data is being generated from various sources. That is the variety point. That is the second V is the variety. Variety of sources are generating heterogeneous data. Heterogeneous data. Next, the third point V is the velocity. We have to consider the velocity a point also when we are discussing the big data. Why? Because velocity indicates the speed of generation of data. How fast the data is generating for the particular application. How fast the data is generating. Okay, it is also play a crucial role. Why? Because nowadays in every area or in every application, the data is generating very fastly. Every day, every minute, every second, we are getting new data. So velocity of is also play a crucial role in the concept of big data. While we are dealing with big data, we must consider the third V, that is velocity. Okay, how fastly the data is generating, that is also to be considered in case of big data. Clear? The third point is the velocity. We have to consider this velocity also. For example, he has given small example. For every 60 seconds, Twitter has 1 lakh tweets. Okay, Facebook has 6,95,000 status updates, instant messages. I don't know whether it is 11 crores or whatever the value. I don't know how to read that value. Okay, that much figure of instant messages, Google searches are there, emails are there, TB of data is there. Like that, the data is increasing for every second very fastly. So we have to consider velocity also important key point when we are dealing with big data. We have to consider the velocity also. Next, value. The fourth V is the value. Okay, so if you see the second point, second V is the variety of data. We are getting various different types of data from different sources. We are getting different types of data from different sources. Clear? When we are gathering all that data, value of the data is also play a crucial role. Value of data means not the amount of data. The value of data means how much the data is reliable and trustworthy. Okay, the data collected from various sources. From various sources, we are collecting various types of data. When we are collecting data from different sources, how much the data is trustworthy and reliable. That means how much it is suitable to you. That is the point value. We have to consider the value of the data also. How much the data is suitable to you. Okay, from 10 students, I am collecting 10 different types of information. Okay, I have to consider while I am gathering data from different students, how much it is related to my concept, how much it is related to my concept. I have to consider I am gathering different types of data from different students. I have to check its value also. That means how much it is trustworthy, how much it is relevant to my concept, how much it is trustworthy. For example, I am taking feedback of VDA from different students, from all the different students. I am contacting with each student to get the feedback of VDA. I am asking different questions to different students. For student one, I ask some questions to get the information. For second student, I ask some different questions to get some data. Okay, student one has given some answers, student two has given some answers, like that. We are gathering the data. While we are getting information student, we have to consider the value also, how much the data is trustworthy also. Whether the student is giving the genuine feedback or not. Whether that feedback we have, is it correct to consider that feedback or not. We have to consider that one, whether it is the trustworthy and reliable data is or not. That is also we have to consider. Value means here not in the same in the point of quantity, but in the here value means how much it is reliable and trustworthy and valuable. That is the point we have to consider. Value will also play a crucial role in case of the big data. Clear? And the value point, is it clear? How much the data is meaningful and how much it is reliable and trustworthy. That is the point given by this value. Is it clear, this fourth point, without any confusion? What is this value? Next, when we come to the last V is the variability or veracity. The last V indicates the variability or veracity. Okay, when we come to this variability, variation in the data, as we already told, we are collecting the various types of data from various sources. We are gathering the various types of data from various sources. Since we are gathering the data from various sources, okay, there is a chance of increasing the inconsistency of the data. There is a chance of getting inconsistency of the data. Okay, so we have to consider the veracity or variability will also play a major role in case of big data analysis. Okay, since you are gathering the data from various sources, there is a chance of increasing the inconsistency of the data. The data may not be same from all the sources. So we have to filter the unwanted data and we have to identify and we have to filter the low quality data and we have to consider only that high quality data which is suitable for our analysis. We have to consider. Clear? When we come to this variability or veracity, it indicates that variation in the quality of data. For example, if we take the same feedback example, since I am asking different people for getting feedback. Here quality variation will be there. Some people is there who is regularly attending the classes. Some students are there who is partially attending the classes. Some people are there who are not attending the classes totally. If you ask the feedback for a student who is not totally attended the class, he give you a wrong values. He will give random answer, whether good or bad. Simply he will say. Why? Because he don't know anything about the class. If you ask the same question for the who is partially attending the classes, we may not get the exact answer. But if you ask the questions for who is regular attending the classes, we will get the high quality data we can get. That means since we are getting data from different sources, there may be a variation in the quality of data we are getting. So we need some more techniques to identify the low quality data and to filter the low quality data. Then only we can happily use the high quality data for our analysis. These are the important 5 V's. Clear? Volume, variety, volume, variety. Next, variability, value, and velocity. We have these things. Volume, which indicates size of the data. Variety, which indicates different categories of data. Next, velocity, which indicates speed of generation of the data. Next, value, which indicates the reliability and trustworthiness of the data. Next, veracity or variability, which indicates the variation in the quality of the data. While we are dealing with big data, we have to consider these 5 V's. Clear? These are the important characteristics of the big data, or 5 V's of the big data. Is it clear, guys? These concepts. Next, when we come to the benefits of big data processing, okay, already we know many things about big data. When we come to the big data, okay, by using big data, we can make predictive analysis, which is save organizations from operational risk. Okay, by using big data, we can make predictive analysis. That means predictive analysis means future analysis. So in the future, how it will be there. If we go like this in the future, how is our situation? Predictive analysis. We will analyze what will happen in the near future so that the organizations can be saved from operational risks. Okay, predictive analysis. By doing the big data analysis, we can make the predictive analysis so that we can save the organization from operational risks. Basing on the previous collected data, we can predict the future analysis. The situation may be like this, so that we can make some decisions that the organization can be saved from risks. That is the one advantage of big data processing. Okay, and also the predictive analysis will also help to grow the business by analyzing customer needs. Okay, by doing the predictive analysis, the organizations can understand what is the customer needs, and so by providing those customer needs, he can improve the business. Okay, for example, by using the predictive analysis, if you take Amazon, it will use the predictive analysis and it will assume, okay, what are the customer interest. He is interesting on which items regularly. Mostly he is showing interest on which items. Regularly they are showing interest on purchasing mobiles. They are showing interest on purchasing on the TVs or colas like that. What are the items they are most liking? So we can improve those items and we can happily increase our business. Clear? That by is not predictive analysis. Okay. Next, big data is also used in the multimedia platforms like YouTube, Instagram, etc. Okay, they will happily use they will use the big data concept. Okay, YouTube, if you take a lot of videos are storing in the YouTube. Okay, it is handling the huge amount of data. And whenever we search in the YouTube, it has to provide the relevant videos. Okay, basing on the predictive analysis, it will try to identify what are the user searches. Basing on your previous searches, whenever we log into that one, it will give you some suggestions. These are the most frequently you liked videos. For example, if you are regularly searching for old movies, next time whenever we log into the YouTube, it will automatically provide the old movies. Depending on the customer like, it will provide those things like that. Similarly, the big data is also used in the medical and healthcare sectors. Okay, the case studies of the patients are stored so that in the future, whenever any patient got the similar type of diseases, by using the case studies which are saved previously, they will make the treatment. Clear? Like this in any area, big data is placing a major role. Okay, by making predictive analysis, the organizations can happily improve their business. They will attract the more customers and they will improve the business by using this big data. Clear? This is basically introduction of the big data. Is it clear, guys, up to now? If it is clear, now we have to enter into our actual concept, that is the working with big data. Guys, are you following? Now, when we come to this working with big data, we have briefly seen what is big data. Simply in one line, what we have seen up to now is what is big data, what are the characteristics of big data. Only we have seen these 2 points. Big data is huge data, their characteristics are 5 V's. We have seen that one only. Now, how to work with the big data? Now we have to see. Okay, when we come to the big data is nothing but the huge volume of data generated by digital process. Okay, big data is the huge volume of data that is generated by the digital process. Clear? When we come to this big data, two file systems was developed to handle the big data. Two file systems was developed, that is Google file system and Hadoop file system. These two file systems was developed to handle the huge amounts of data. Clear? These two file systems, either GFS, Google file system, or Hadoop distributed file system, HDFS, these two file systems are developed considering the 5 characteristics of the big data: velocity, variety, volume, veracity, and value. By considering the 5 V's of big data, these two distributed file systems are developed. Google file system and HDFS are developed by considering the 5 V's of the big data only. 5 characteristics of the big data. Okay, first Google proposed a file system called Google File System. Okay, first Google came with a proposal of the Google File System to handle huge amounts of data. They published a paper based on the concept of Google File System. Later, after Google has proposed the Google File System, later Apache open source developed another file system basing on the Google File System. It was proposed another file system called Hadoop Distributed File System. Okay, Google has first proposed the Google File System and it published a paper on that one. Basing on the paper published by the Google File System, Apache has again developed another file system called Hadoop Distributed File System. Clear? These are the first available distributed file systems for working with the big data. Google file system or the Hadoop distributed file systems. What are the main goals of this Google file system and Hadoop distributed file system? What are the main goals of these two? The primary goal of these two is to support large files. Okay, to support large files coming from various sources in various formats. The either Google HDFS or GFS was built to support large files of data which are coming from various sources in various formats, in variety of formats. Clear? This huge storage data is stored in thousands of disks. Okay, they distribute the huge data in thousands of disks. Okay, and both HDFS and GFS. Okay, guys, now the time is only few seconds are there. Okay, we will continue the goal of GFS, HDFS on tomorrow class. We will continue working with big data from the next class onwards. We will start working with big data. Clear? For today, we are winding up. Tomorrow, we will continue the concepts of working with big data. Up to now, is it okay? Briefly, is it okay, guys? The introduction of the big data. We have briefly seen today, we have seen the introduction of the big data. Okay, tomorrow onwards, we will start working with big data. We will see first, we will see the Google file system. Then after GFS, we will see the Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, we will see those concepts from tomorrow onwards.